A very good morning to all of you who are joining in. We're grateful for your participation. We are just waiting for a few more participants. Good morning, good morning, dear parent. Good morning. So it just gives me a prompt that your chat boxes, you're able to type, you're able to, send in a message. We'll be able to read that. Good morning, dear parent. So I can see a very warm welcome to each one of you for this workshop today, that is Understanding Jolly Phonics Approach for Early Years by our team ACERT. I would like to introduce first my team members who are facilitating me for the workshop. A good morning to Miss Anila Verma, who will be my support for playing the PPT for today. Thank you so much, Anila ma'am. We have from our backend IT, Puneet sir, who will also be supporting us. So in case when the participant, when I'm calling out for the participant to unmute themselves camera, sir and Anila ma'am will be able to help you come up on the camera. In case you're facing any concern, you can type your responses in the chat box. We'll look into it. Before I begin the workshop, I would want to introduce Ms. Monica Sharda. I'm a facilitator ACERT, and it's a privilege for us being here today to facilitate the workshop on enhancing or making first-time parents understand the multisensory approach that we are going to be talking about, that approach. Moving forward, this particular parent program, Anila ma'am, can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you so much. Has been the vision of our respected founder, that is Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, and our honorable chairperson, Mrs. Amita Chauhan ma'am, and their support for the parents that we have on board during their parenting journey. The pedagogies, the philosophies that we want our children to grow in will not be effective, will not be taken well until unless we have the parent community on board. And taking this vision forward, our respected chairperson, Sapna Chauhan, initiated this parent partnership program, which is the central goal of collaborating of the team from Amity Center for Educational Research and Training and Amion, where we collaborate and come up with these parenting workshops to enable and what is the learning style that your young learner is experiencing at school, and the pedagogies that are beneficial for the children to facilitate their learning journey. Moving on, today we are here to understand this technique, which is called phonics. Some of you will know what this workshop is going to be, but for those of you who who are getting for the first time, our approach, our way for this workshop will be that we're going to be hand holding you to make you understand what this multisensory technique, which is called the Jolly Phonics technique, is going to facilitate building literacy, language skills, abilities in children. And research has shown, research has shown that when children are exposed to these learning styles, Ms. Kapoor is saying that your voice is not audible. Ma'am, is there a concern? Are you not able to hear me well? Is that a concern for other parents as well? Anybody else who's not able to hear me? The audio is not clear. Okay. All right. All right. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you for your confirmation. Right. Great. Thank you so much. Thanks. So this approach understands some terminologies as well, and through a fun, playful manner, using games, using stories, parenting strategies, which you can take even back home as well. When you do it with your children, you'll see that the children benefit, and their facilitation in terms of acquiring of the language, and also facilitates them, their reading abilities become, they're able to, start reading early. They're able to, write more comfortably. That is the whole idea that we have this workshop for. Moving on, I want to begin the workshop you back to your own days as children, where the English alphabet, that is A to Z, when you learned it, can any one of you come up on the camera and sing that rhyme for us? You can raise your hands. We'll ask Anila ma'am and Puneet sir to, enable the camera as well for you. You can raise your hands and come up and let's sing the English alphabet rhyme that, we know as kids. We remember as kids. So Ms. Kumar has raised the hand, and Alka has also raised the hand. So why not? Let's have both the rhymes. Let them both come up on the camera and sing the rhyme for us. Yes, yes. I could see you, Ms. Kumar. I could see you on the camera. So please come on the camera and sing the rhyme for us.
Hi everybody. The rhyme that I remember, good morning. The rhyme that I remember when I was taught the alphabet goes like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, P, Q, R, U, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z means something. I forgot. I'm sorry.
All right. X, Y, Z, sugar on the bread. If you don't like it, better go to bed. That was the rhyme. Yes. Thank you so much. That's so cute. Thank you so much, Ms. Martha. Thank you, parent. So Alka, would you also want to come up and sing the rhyme?
Ma'am, camera is not working.
Sir, can we please help Miss Alka to enable her camera? Good morning. We can see you now on camera, but you're muted. Kindly unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it was the way one of the participants just said. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. This was what we were taught.
Now I know my
A, B, C. That sing with me, something was this.
Yes, something, right? Very correct. So that was, thank you so much, dear of you, for your enthusiastic participation. It brings in the happiness on the platform, and your enthusiasm gives me the warmth that I'm looking for carrying forward for this. And we're going to continue participating in this enthusiastic manner. I'm going to have you come on camera also. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. So yes, that was the rhyme that we knew as kids. Moving on, I have another question. So now let's test your reading and comprehension skills before we move on. So you will say that, okay, when is ma'am going to tell me what this phonics and what this approach is all about? I am setting the ground for first checking how much my participants know. So let's test your reading and comprehension skills. So here it comes. Please raise your hands and one of you can, we'll help you unmute and read this text for us. So who's volunteering to read the text that is there on the screen? Quickly, we'll appreciate if you can, Pooja, Miss Rakhi has also raised her hand. We can help them come up on camera. And so Miss Pooja, you can read the first text. I have more. I will ask Miss Rakhi to read the next one.
Hi everyone,
has also
good
raised
morning.
her hand.
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's rare. I went horse ride in, that was fun.
Went horse riding and that was fun. Very good. Now let's bring up the next text that I want you to read. So that Miss Rakhi will be reading. Try and read the sentence which we have up on the screen. The second one. Miss Rakhi.
It is time to go home. It's time to go home, but why don't want to go home? See the butterfly. Want to taste? I don't know, ma'am, what written in next.
Yeah,
Hi.
so it's quite gibberish, but you were able to read, and those of you who heard her read the the words that are there on the screen, you were able to make sense what the sentence was, right? We have two more participants who have raised their hands, and Miss Kumar, next picture is for you to read. Miss Kapoor, we'll have you read the other one. Moving on, Anila ma'am.
I love chocolate. I love chocolate. Not able to read MIC.
That's L. That's letter L.
I love
right. So
chocolate.
Miss Bharti has written the sentence in the chat box. It reads, "I love chocolate milk." This
Yes.
The structure, the sentences are correct, but this child has written and expressed his liking of chocolate milk. This is what he has written. I want you to observe the child as well, the young age of the child as well. The next picture. Miss Ina, you had also raised your hands. Would you like to read this picture? The sentence in this picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It is, I love playing hide and seek.
Very good. The child was able to, that's correct. Miss Kaur, Navjeet Kaur, you gave the correct answer. Miss Jain, you also gave the correct answer. In the chat box, it says, I love playing hide and seek. Very good. Very good, Miss Alka. Now, moving on. What knowledge do you think did you use for reading and comprehension? So comprehension is when you were able to understand also what you were reading. What is it? What is it that you felt you used? What knowledge did you use? Anybody? You can type your responses as well in the chat box. Those of you, very correct, Miss Pooja. Ms. Ruchika, you have raised your hands. Please unmute and say, what knowledge, according to you, did you use when you were reading these sentences?
I think I used the sound a particular consonant or a vowel makes.
Yeah, so the particular letter, the English alphabet letter, what sound it was using was used by you to put the letters together, to blend the letters together to make the word. And then when and that was exactly how this child was also able to express and build the sentence of what he was wanting to say. So the child in the third letter was wanting to say that I love chocolate milk. He was able to express it in the sentence formation using his knowledge of sounds, of stringing together to make words. So this is a technique which will definitely enable a child to start reading faster. That is the knowledge of sounds and their association with the letters. It facilitates the child to read faster, and also the letters have a particular formation, which is also taught under the Jolly Phonics approach. Under the phonics approach, the child learns to know, identify the graphemes as well, is able to identify what that particular sound represents as well, and hence build their reading abilities much faster, their writing abilities much faster. So the response that has been given by Miss Alka is that the phonetic sound, and also I consider that they are small children. So very correct. They are small children, and they are able to put this technique of identifying of the sounds for building their reading and comprehension abilities. Moving on. So very correct. All of you, most of you have given me the response that what is phonics? Phonics is the link between the letters that we have and the sound that those individual letters give out. Right? Now, let's move forward in Lamap. Now, learning phonics, you were also able to experience with this activity, enables a child to develop a faster pace of which they can start reading and writing as well. And when a child is able to read those letters, blend the sounds together, read it, it builds up their confidence. It also makes them have that courage or the confidence to even explore trying to read some words which they have not been taught, but they know the sound of, and that will enable them to start reading as well. And when they know the sound of the word, let's take the example of ant, when they know the sounds of that particular letter as well, they will be able to pronounce it better. The pronunciation is improved. So if we say that the child will be able to pronounce it the way it is, like pat, right? With the formation, with the rhymes that are given in Jolly Phonics, the children automatically the correct spellings of that word, the correct of that word. Now moving forward, what we had when we did the first activity, how we had learned the English alphabet was the look and say method, where we were, and it involved a lot of rote learning. So for us, the rhyme that we remembered was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. It said L, O, N, O, P. Right now, the letter L does not have a sound LO, and it does M also does not have a sound MO. But that is how we kind of rote learned it in that particular sequence. However, in the Jolly Phonics approach or the phonics approach, which is a multisensory approach, we'll come to that, how various senses are involved of the children, not only the auditory sense, the tactile sense, the visual sense, they're going to learn the movement on their arms and their hands through rainbow writing, various techniques that are introduced to the children. They are able to grasp the completeness of the letters that they see in the environment, they absorb from the environment. Now, in the traditional approach or the whole word approach, we were given the sequence from A to Z, A to Z to us, and then only we were moved to or encouraged to build words, understand words, write words. However, in the Jolly Phonics approach, we introduce sounds in groups, or if we may say letters in groups, and those groups, when we divide them in groups, from the first group itself, the children enable themselves, by blending those sounds together, they're able to build words at a very early age. Hence, the reading, the writing, becomes preponed for the children, right? So moving forward, I'll just make you understand this. Now, if I say that, can any one of you read this particular word for me? And if you know the meaning of it as well? There is a word which is written on the screen, and can you read and pronounce the word for me? Who's going to pronounce the word for me, please? You can raise your hand, try, and I don't want you to Google it right now. Anyone would want to come up? So Pooja, yes, and also Ruchika, both of them have raised their hands.
Well, just trying it out.
Yes.
Strankodry.
Strankodry. Okay. Do you know the meaning of it?
No.
All right. Not a problem. Yes, Miss Ruchika, would you want to read this word for me?
Yes. Like the previous participant, I would also read it as Strankodry.
Right. And would you happen to know the meaning of it?
No.
So that was a trick word, or if I may say so, a silly word. There is no such word as Strankodry, and it does not have a meaning. However, it's a word where you were able to read it, put it together by understanding the sounds of it. You were able, and it's the same technique which the child will also use when they are able to see the words strung together. They will be attempting to at least read the words, and the pronunciation of it will come because they know the sounds of it. So in the English dictionary, there is no such word as Strankodry. It does not have a meaning. But with this word, I was able to make each one of you understand that if we know that this letter S has a sound, ST has a sound, letter R has a sound, we were as adults able to string those sounds together to give a word which maybe does not, it is a silly word, but you were able to read and you were able to pronounce. Now, Strankodry is a pronunciation which maybe for you have, if another person knows another sound to it, they will be reading it or giving another pronunciation to it. So here, through this word, we were able to understand that it is the sounds that help us give the pronunciation of the word. So great attempt. I would like to clap for each one of those participants who enthusiastically participated for these activities and made us understand the base of the workshop, which we are wanting each one of us to take forward, that we are going to be understanding the study of sounds that the letters make and how it facilitates the children as per age appropriate sounds that are given to them, the groups that are given to them. They use the same techniques which we are able to experience right now, and hence it facilitates their reading and writing faster for the children. Moving on. Now, we have understood that phonics has its positives. We were able to understand that it facilitates reading fluency. So we are able to string the sounds together to read words, to build words in a fun and playful manner. Next. It also facilitates easy spelling. So when we say strand, we know the spelling because of the sound. We know the spelling S-T-R-A-N. So we are able to identify what are the letters that make the first syllable of that word, right? The first few sounds help us understand what are the letters that are also present. So spelling also become faster. Now you might say that in our previous exercise, the child wrote M-L-K, which is milk. The phonetic correctness of the spelling is there. For the child who is young, we will not focus as much on the spelling of the word if they are able to string it together. However, going further, when we are able to understand that the child is able to segregate, is able to segment, is able to understand what are the individual sounds present in the letter as well, the child will automatically also understand, which is a technique which is called segmenting. The child will also be able to learn the spellings of the words as well. And there is a proper step, there is a proper procedure under the Jolly Phonics technique where we are introducing the CVC words to them, the families to them. The children are able to blend the sounds together to know the spellings even easier. The spellings become easier to us. We do not have to rely on rote learning, right? So the words which are introduced to them at the nursery level, they're phonetically correct and they're able to learn the spellings as well. Moving on. It facilitates unknown spellings as well. So you were able to read unknown words, unknown spellings that, and it's the same technique that the child will also use in the word strand or dry. And through the technique of oral blending, that is hearing of the sounds together, we are able to, enhance our reading abilities whenever we see it, either on the text in the book, or when we are traveling in a car with our parents, the children are able to read it on signboards. The children are able to string those, letters together, whatever they see, when they know their sounds, they're able to start building words together through just, stringing the sounds together and making a word. So that's called oral blending. Moving on. So obviously, it also leads to vocabulary enhancement. In our previous exercise, strand or dry is not a word, so that didn't lead to a vocabulary enhancement. But the children, when they are able to string the small words, and their vocabulary enhances at a much faster pace. Moving on. Obviously, when you're able to write, when you're able to understand, comprehend, it leads to confidence boosting and building in our young ones. Now, how to teach phonics? It is one of the easiest and the most fun and easily absorbed by the children in our classroom. We can do at home. We're going to be sharing some strategies as parents, what you can take strategies you can use at home. You can build the awareness of a sound or a phonemic awareness in your home with the presence of the sound. And what we use at module is the Jolly Phonics approach. Now let's understand what this Jolly Phonics approach is all. So it is a research-based technique or approach, multisensory approach, where your abilities of your auditory sense, that's how we are saying it's multisensory. It is an auditory sense, it's a listening sense, it is, your speaking sense, it's your tactile sense. When they come together to learn a simple letter or a simple letters for us in a sequence, A becomes easy for us. You're able to touch, feel, experience the letter to understand what this particular letter makes a sound. And this technique was developed by Sue Lloyd and Sarah Burnham. They were early years primary school educators, and they collaborated with Mr. Chris Jolly of Jolly Limited, and they made this entire approach, this entire program of facilitating English language understanding and acquisition for children using Jolly Phonics approach in school. And schools that follow this particular philosophy, uses these multisensory techniques for the children to learn and absorb the English language. Anila ma'am, can we move ahead? So under this approach, if we see, it does not begin with A, B, C, D, right? That is not the sequence that we introduce in. We introduce, language or sounds to the children, and there are 7 groups that are there. And each group has 6 letters. So the first group that we have over here is S-A-T-I-P-N. These are the first letters used to the children. So S has a sound S, letter A has a sound A, letter T has a sound T, letter I has a sound E, letter P has a sound P, letter N has a sound N. Now, under this approach, there are actions also associated with it. So we are giving the children the movement action for that particular sound as well. We have individual rhymes for these sounds as well, which we are going to see in the moving forward in the workshop, how the letter S individually has a sound. Now, how we read it as A, apple, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat. So for a child, if arrow was shown to a child or apron was shown to a child, the child was not able to make the connection that letter A can also make these words as well. However, when we introduce the children through the Jolly Phonics approach in the group form, we'll do an exercise where you will be able to see that how the children can start reading or can start writing or can identify words through the blending technique from just the first group, right? So when we kind of bifurcate these 7 groups that we have, so the English alphabet, that is from A to Z, including vowels and consonants. So the 26 letters of the English alphabet have 42 sounds under Jolly Phonics. So we have certain segment of sounds that are associated only for the consonants and certain set of sounds that are there only for the vowels. So the vowels will have more sounds and the consonants will have individual sounds for themselves. So letter A, which is a vowel, can have the S sound as well, but can also have the sound appear as it appears in the word appear, right? So in that manner, our mouth does not open as much. So it is another sound. So vowels will have more sounds. However, consonants will have their individual sounds, and letter S will have the sound only as S. And if it is clubbed with another consonant and make a digraph or a blend, that is ST, it will give another sound. All right, let's understand it further when we go ahead in the presentation. So like you see, we have 7 groups moving on under the Jolly Phonics approach. Now, like I have said, these 26 letters of the English alphabet make 42 sounds. And in early years, these connections of individual letters having individual sounds makes easier a progression for the child to start building words and to start identifying and giving you the correct spellings as well. All right, moving on. Now, there is an activity time. You can type your responses even in the chat box, but for those of you who have a pen and a paper, let's try and do this activity for about a minute. Now, the activity I've just given you a brief, you can tabulate yourself like, I want you to make 3 to 4 letter words out of the first 6 set of letters of the English alphabet, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, and from the Jolly Phonics set of sequence of letters, that is group 1, I want you to attempt and make as many 3 to 4 letter words that you can make of the first group, that is SATPIN, right? And your time starts now. Anila ma'am, can I request you to be the time watch for me as well? Thank you. So let's try and make 3 to 4 letter words from the first group and 3 to 4 letter words from the second group. So Abhilasha is writing. You know, this will become a bit confusing. Maybe you can write it in your own paper and give me the count in the end. Were you able to make more words from the first segment, which is A, B, C, D, E, or were you able to make more words from the second segment, which is SATPIN? That is the Jolly Phonics, segment, the group 1. You'll definitely have a count variation. Yes, we can see. Radhika has written tap, pat, pin, tin, apt, pan. So definitely that was the second group. Anila ma'am, you moving ahead. Yeah, that's all right. Tin, tip, Abhilasha, pat. Great. From Miss Ruchika is adding bad, dab, fad, bed, fed, cab. Definitely that is for the first group. You were able to make about 6-7 words. How about you attempting for the second group as well? Dad. Miss Sahu has given dad from the first group. Dad, bad, bed. Abhilasha, yes, you were able to give the 3 words over there. So when you are able to assess, I believe, ma'am, the 1 minute is over.
Yes.
All right, all right. So when you see the number of words you were able to build from the first segment, vis-a-vis the number of words you were able to build from this first segment under the Jolly Phonics group, just the first 6 letters, you can see that the child also uses these same things for making more words, attempting to read more words, attempting to write more words. You will be definitely seeing the count increasing, and the child does not have to wait to know the entire English language, the English alphabet, that is A to Z, and then start building words. Just by the first 6 segment, the first 6 letters of the first group, the child is able to build not only 3-letter words, even can build 4-letter words from the first segment. So definitely the reading is, we can see instances where this facilitates faster reading, faster word formation, faster, spellings, understanding for the children. So the reading and writing definitely becomes faster, right? So moving on. Now, under the Jolly Phonics approach, there are 5 skills that are taught to it. Yes, Ina, I was able to see you did a count of 6. Great, thank you so much for those words. So under the Jolly Phonics approach, there are 5 skills that are taught to the children, which facilitates reading and writing, to the children. So a letter is first introduced as only a sound. We will not say A Letter A makes the sound. We give the sound first, and letter sound is represented by the letter A. So here, if I say we will not introduce the child that this is letter A, rather we give the sound of this, that it says and what is the letter that makes the sound It is letter A. All right. We also give the letter formation to the child. The formation is through verbal clues that the child learns, even through multisensory approach. The child learns the formation through air writing, through rainbow writing. The formation is made clear to the child. As children, we were taught a formation either by holding our hand to perfect the letter formation. Here we have verbal clues that are given to the children that facilitates the children learning the formation of that letter as well, of that sound. So there is going to be, so if we take an example of letter S, there are verbal clues that are given when the child starts writing the letter. First, he has to identify the sound, snake in the grass, snake in the grass, the snake is in the grass, right? The song, I'm going to be showing you the song as well. Moving forward, you'll be seeing it. There is an action also which is given when the sound happens. So if I can sing the letter S rhyme for you, the snake is in the grass, the snake is in the grass, the snake is in the grass. When that letter sound is given and the action is also given to the child understands that whenever I'm going to be hearing the sound, there is an action also associated with it where the snake is going to hiss, and like it makes the hissing sound. So the child understands the sound as well of that particular letter. Now, when the child is able to identify the sound, the child is able to identify the letter, the child attempts to blend the sounds together, which is called the oral blending. And in the Jolly Phonics technique, next set, which is a skill that is taught to the child, is what does that sound do? When you add one sound and add another friend to it, what sound will it now give? So suppose we have a, and the other friend joins in t. What sound will it make to, if we add, what word will it make when we add another sound? So here, if I may show you, these are various techniques that we can use for the child to learn the sentence, the word also. So I'm going to be bringing it down. These are the stands, the letter stands that it has for the children. This we use for nursery children. I hope you're able to see the dots. Now, these visual clues also make the child understand that we are referring to only one sound only. We're not referring to more. We cannot add more sounds to it. So the child is asked to identify this sound, right? So if I can ask you, what is this letter? Anyone? I'm sure we know that what this letter is.
B.
B. And there are pictures also. So the child, where if suppose they're not able to identify the letter, there are pictures also behind these cards, and the child will be able to identify this picture when we show it to him. So it says, what is it that you see over here? It's a bird. So what is the first sound that we hear in the word bird? B. So B has a sound which is, so we are going to put it over here. The orientation right now, if you're able to see, I am beginning from the left side. Always remember, for writing, for the child to understand word building also, keep the orientation towards the child for them to learn the correct word building sequence as well. And if I'm able to tell you, if I'm asking you, what is the next sound that you see over here? It is I. And the letter that we have over, the picture that we have over here?
Igloo.
Igloo. So it has igloo, like we have the word igloo. what sound do you hear when I say igloo? It is E. So this letter will have the sound E, right? So I'm going to be putting it over here. So now if we ask them to make the make this letter and this letter friends, so the two of them are becoming friends, it gives a sound
B.
B. B. Okay, so B does not complete the word. We are going to bring in another friend, and this friend is letter
N.
N. And N makes letter N makes the sound.
No, no.
It's not na, it's n. So when we give the sound to the children, we are giving the correct sound. It's not na, it's n. Now let's make all these letters friends and let's try and read it together. So this letter has the sound b,
B.
e,
E. No.
b, e, n. Let's string it together. We're going to do a fast reading of it. We're going to bring the sounds together and make them friends. Bin,
Bin.
bin,
Bin.
bin, right? So when we string it together, the child is visually able to see that this is one sound, this is the second sound, this is the third sound. And through the oral blending technique, when we are bringing the sounds together, through their hearing, through their sense, their auditory sense, they are able to build words. So this word is built by the identification of sounds, bringing together of the sound, blending together of the sounds, and the word reads bin. The sounds that have come together have made us understand the word bin. In that same manner, we can help children understand and build more words through the oral blending technique. So if we say bat, now when we say B, letter B, B gives out the sound B, and A gives out the sound, letter A gives out the sound A, and letter T gives out the sound T. So when these are pure individual sounds for them. So B at. When we string it together, it gives the word bat. Now, this is when the sounds come together. Segmenting is when the child understands individual sounds as well. So in that same manner, when we were able to put these clues for the child was also able to understand that the word bin has one individual sound, where this is B, this is I, this is N, B, I, N. So these are the individual sounds also that are present in the word. That's called segmenting. Now, what does segmenting help the child is? The child is also able to learn the spelling of that particular word also easily, because we are able to understand the beginning sound, we are able to understand the middle sound, we are able to understand the end sound. And when these sounds, when these friends, when these letters are strung together, makes a word, right? Now, the next skill that is taught to the child is the tricky words. Now, tricky words are a and the father, mother, then, there. These words do not retain their phonetic sounds. They are taught to the children the way they are. So it's a look and say approach that the children use for learning tricky words. And tricky words, when combined with the words that the child learns, they help them to form phrases, they help them to form sentences, and hence the reading is enhanced. So moving forward, the phase one, we were able to understand that the children are taught letter sounds. Hence, the children will be speaking faster and listening to the sounds. They're able to enhance their ability of putting the sounds together and making new words. And here we give the opportunity for the children in a fun and playful manner through rhymes as well, through oral blending and segmenting. The children are given various opportunities. We're going to show you further. I have some pictures also of the classroom, of the Amian classroom, where you'll be able to see how letters are made fun for the children, right? So moving forward. Now, there is also a sequence how the child understands about one particular letter. So it says that there are steps that the child learns to string the sounds together. There is a story, letter. Am I in the meeting? Are you able to hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up?
Monica, ma'am, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. So let's read the story of letter S, right? So letter S has a story. It says, it's a sunny day. A boy takes his dog for a walk. The boy throws a stick and the dog runs after it. The dog sniffs in the grass and starts barking. Woof, woof. A large spotty snake is sitting up and hissing. Sss. The boy grabs the dog and the snake slowly slithers away. Now, if you see, I also have the Jolly Phonics Group 2 big book. So this also, if you can see, this is a big book. It's, almost the size of my torso. It's a big book. And if I give you, an understanding, that's how amazing, the child is able to read the pictures of it. The child is able to, identify various words that, if you see the scene of this particular book is where you can see children hopping from the stream, one stream, they're playing, they're hopping. And it also has over here, if you see over here, there is a formation also that is taught to the child, that is the direction, the flow of writing the letter H. And these are various little, the words that are written over here are hop, and the storyline for the sound of H is, it is a school sports day. The children are having a hopping race. By the time they go to finish line, they are hot and panting. They say, right? And the words that are over here for you to see, it's hot, hell, happy, hill. There are more words where the children are encouraged to identify and see. And this is the big book that the Jolly Phonic, it is there in the handbook, in the manual that is there. And the children, really love seeing such big images and they're able to build stories as well. All right, moving on. I'll be showing you more material that we have of Jolly Phonics. Now let's sing the rhyme together for letter S. And you have seen that there is an action also associated with it, which says, weave your hand in an S formation like a snake and say, S. So let's see this. Anila ma'am, would you play this rhyme for us?
The snake is in the grass, the snake is in the grass. The snake is in the grass.
Let's do another rhyme. Children love rhymes, and we have individual rhymes for each letter sound. The children are able to absorb these individual letters.
And so my arm, and so my arm, and so my
Now, when you see this action which is given over here, wiggle your fingers above your elbows as if ants are crawling. Here in the school, what we tell all our, educators, and I would also want to recommend, if you are taking these rhymes with the children back home as well, don't give them more than one action to the rhyme. So when we are saying that we have to do the action of an ant crawling up the arm, just restrict to that particular action only for the child not to get confused of more than one action given to that particular rhyme. Because if we say, suppose if we go as per the words of the rhyme, ants on my arms, ants on my arms, ants on my arms, they're causing me alarm. So here, this action is not needed. The child will be able to understand, that letter A is also present in the word alarm, but when you give more than one action to the child, it tends to confuse. So limit. So in our schools, in Amion schools, when schools that adopt the Jolly Phonic technique, we recommend to all parents and to educators, do not confuse the child by giving more than one action to the child. So if it was when we were giving them the sound of letter S, that is, do not give more than the action which is there for. Just make it very gentle, so the child is also able to do the action as well. And remember the action also associated for that particular letter. So this is the action for A. I can share with you all in my resources. I will be sharing all the 42 sounds and the rhymes and the actions. And rather than you having the children watch say maybe rhymes which they are not going to maybe recall, these rhymes, if they are played in the house, the children are able to immerse themselves in the environment even back home, and you'll see that the children is where and how will you share? Ma'am, it is going to be mailed with you, Anjali ma'am, right? We're going to be mailing it to you. All right. So moving on. All right. Now, when I mentioned that there are verbal clues that are given for the child to understand the letter formation, is where, suppose if we take, for letter S, it says, make a curve and an opposite curve. Now, how have we learned the formation of letter S? Now, if I say even for letter T, point to the ceiling, come down, give a kick, and a cut in the middle. Now, these verbal clues helps the child understand and perfect the formation. Now, you do not have to ask the child to immediately pick up the writing tool, either the pen or a chalk or a crayon, and ask them to start writing it onto, the slate or the board. Let the hand movement be free. Let the grip for the child. I'm going to be showing you a video as well moving on, where you will be, if you practice that strategy for them to even hold the writing tool, which is either a pen or a pencil, you will see that the children's grip for the formation of holding the writing tool will improve. And once it is done, you do not have to wait for the child to first perfect the writing tool. You can have them give these commands through a playful manner at home as well. So if I may show you over here, I have a tray which is full of rice. Now, if I tell you that I want to give the instruction to the child in a playful manner to perfect the formation of letter S. Now, the child can make a snake, whatever they want to make. But when we have to teach the child through this play or a game, which can easily be taken up even at home, is when we're giving the writing clues for writing letter S. So we are going to make a curve and an opposite curve. So if you see in this manner, this area which the child traced with his or her finger along with the verbal clue has also helped the child to perfect the letter formation. The child will not do this, the child will not do zigzag. Through the verbal clues, the child is able to get a perfect letter formation, and it can be done on a sand tray. It can be done on a simple tray like this back home, where you can fill it up with either, pulses for or sugar or salt, and the child will learn whenever they trace. You must have seen that when I traced the letter, it was from the orientation of how the child will see it. Obviously, the child will not be tracing it from down to top. They will be tracing it from top to down, but the orientation has to be towards themselves. So always remember, when you are doing letter formation or giving them verbal clues for the letter formation, make sure that when they're tracing, when they are making attempts of tracing either with on a sand tray or on a rice tray, or when they're tracing with using crayons and you're giving them verbal clues, the orientation of the letter has to be towards the child only. So while I was showing you on the online platform, I had to do it the other way so that you're able to understand the verbal clues, how they help in perfecting the letter formation. Now, if I take for that for the sound for the letter T, it says point to the ceiling, come down, give a kick and a cut in the middle. Now, when the child understands what is the ceiling, they will know what is the ceiling. It's the top. So when we point to the ceiling, come down, give a kick and a cut in the middle, the child has also learned air writing. It begins with the children following the direction in the air first. Then only will they be given, once they have perfected their grip, they will be given the writing tool to understand the perfect formation. Now, if you see, there are verbal clues that are given for the capital letter and the small letters. In some schools, they are introduced as Papa letter, or they are introduced as baby letter, or they're introduced as mama letter, or they are introduced as baby letters. But here at Amion, we generally prefer to give them the correct word, the correct title to it. So the letter capital S is taught as capital letter, and the small s is mentioned as a small letter only, right? So here are the verbal clues. We have verbal clues, and these are school specific. So what I'm showing you right now is what we follow at Amion. So if we want to teach the child the correct formation for letter A, it says point to the ceiling, go round, go up, come, make a kick. Now, when we see the letters which are there, like D, like A, it gives the kick element to it for the letter formation. That is because Jolly Phonics formation, when it is taught to the children, facilitates cursive writing. When we have the kicks coming in, the children, when they join the letters B, A, D, the children will be able to learn the cursive formation as well. Facilitates the letter formation, facilitates cursive writing for the children, and they're able to make, once they know the formation, they're able to and write the word also using the cursive. Okay, so these are some of the letters and their verbal clues that I have shared with you. Moving on. Now, how can we facilitate, learning of phonics and the sounds through games? We can build stories of the sounds as well that are present. We can narrate a story of letter S to the pure sounds that are the words that we know: sun, star, socks, horse, and we can just narrate silly stories to the children, facilitate reading. When we are playing sound games with the children, suppose a sound game of tap, clap, pat, we want to focus his or her attention on the various just done a tracing pattern. Now this is what we kind of trace the letter formation on the rice tray. We can even do it on sand. We can even do it on water. It becomes through these various multi-sensory games, multi-sensory ways, the children perfect the letter sound and perfect the letter formation. Moving on. So another game that we can suggest is say a word pen and ask the child to identify any object in the environment that has the same beginning sound. So if I am asking the child to say the word alligator, so this is the child identifies the picture alligator. Now, can you bring me anything from the house which begins with the word ah? Right? So the child will be running around in the house. You can encourage the child to go and explore and maybe opens the fridge, brings an apple for you from the fridge. The child is able to understand that this object apple also begins with the same sound. Now you can also play a guessing game with the children. So I think of an animal that begins with the letter and begins with the sound B. So can you tell me can you tell me of a word which begins with can you name the bird? Can you guess the name of the bird that begins with letter sound? Pigeon. Very correct. Any more responses? With letter P and the sound P, parrot. Very good. Right? So we can also play, the alphabet zoo as well. So name two animals that have the sound eh, that begin with the sound eh. Name two animals. So Pooja has written ant, panther, alligator. I said begin with the sound, right? So alligator, ant, any other? Ape. So I said the sound eh. So ant was correct, alligator was correct. Okay, so here we can give the opportunities to understand even their knowledge about animals and the sounds also that we go. So moving on. Anaconda, very correct. Miss Kulkarni, very correct. Moving on, Anila ma'am. Now, phase one is where what you can do at home for the children is where, ma'am, the previous one, where we can even do instrumental percussions for the children, right? We can have them, play out instruments. Let's take out the pots and the pans and create a music out of it. We can sing rhymes and stories to children, which the Jolly Phonics rhymes and stories can be given to the children. We can play body percussions for the children. So if we just play out this particular body percussion where we are saying tap, we're saying clap, and we are saying pat, and we can go faster at the pace of the child. Pat, clap, sorry, tap, clap, pat, tap, clap, pat, and the children will be able to, we can bring in more patterns in our body percussions where the children understand the body movement as well, and they're able to understand the sounds as well. Moving on to the phase two, what we can do back home, we can try as parents, we can do these activities at home. Under phase 2, the purpose is where the formation is understood. So like we said, we can encourage children to learn the formation on sand trays, on salt trays, give them a plate, let them play around with the various shapes, understand the formation, how it goes, say letter A, letter T, letter P, how the formation is, the child is making through the verbal clues that you can help the child enable and perfect the letter sound. Now, and during this phase also we are teaching the child, we can also teach the child to build and blend the sounds together so that they're also able to learn the words as well. So we can tell them, when we have seen that the child has learned, perfected the formation on maybe a sand tray or on maybe a salt tray, we can tell them, would you want to write on the sounds that you're able to hear when I say fat? So the child will write the formation of F. Ah, so the child will write the formation of A. T. The child will learn the formation of T. So and it is in a fun and playful manner. The child will be, learning to make the word fat on, just a small little resource that is there available at home in a fun and playful manner, right? You can even teach tricky words to the children. The tricky words will also, help them read, make phrases. They will be able to read better as well. Moving on. The third phase, so these are tricky words. There are 72 tricky words that we have, and they are introduced to the children in a stage manner, in a phased manner. So if we refer to the first 12 tricky words, not all is taught to a nursery child, but yes, most of these words are taught in a fun and playful manner to the children. For example, you can also have that as the password for that particular room. We can have that put as the print form of THE, and whenever the child wants to enter either the play area or the bathroom, or wants to open a fridge door, that tricky word in the form of even a magnetic letter can be put over there, where the child, when they're able to read that tricky word, can open the fridge for their favorite snack, can open and enter their room. So pat or tap the tricky word. These are fun ways in which the children learn the tricky words in their formation, in their entirety. We're not breaking down the tricky words. Now in grade KG or for higher classes, you can see the next segment also that is introduced to the children. Not all, some of them the children are able to read, and in fun, in a playful manner, the children, the teacher is, or the adult is going to say the tricky word, and the children are asked to explore in the environment, identify where the tricky word is, and they're going to be patting that tricky word, or they're going to be picking up or bringing that tricky word. I'm going to be showing you some pictures moving forward where you will be able to see this. All right, quickly moving forward. And there are 72 tricky words. Now, when I was talking about seeing or preparing your child for the pencil grip, you will be able to see through this video how we are able to achieve a good, perfect pencil grip. When you practice, if you give this opportunity to your child, the child will be able to benefit holding the writing tool properly. Anila ma'am, can you please play this video?
So when we're practicing our writing, it's really important that we still have our proper pencil grip. So I'm just going to show you now to remind you of all those little things that I say to you every time when you pick your pencil up. It's really important you're holding it properly. So if I'm using my right hand, remember I need those pinching fingers as though I'm picking up pieces of rice off the table. Pinch, 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 pinch the pencil either side of it. I flick it back and I rest it on that finger underneath. So there are only 3 fingers holding that pencil, not too close to the end and not too far up, but holding that not too tight, it shouldn't hurt, and not too loose that you're going to drop it. So just a nice comfortable pencil grip. Now if I'm using my left hand, my hand's going to come from this side, so pinch, 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 pinch the pencil, flick it back and rest it on that finger underneath. So there should only be 3 fingers holding that pencil. Again, not too tight and not too loose, just a nice comfortable pencil grip. So if you're practicing your writing at home, practicing your letter sounds, practicing your handwriting, writing some sentences, I would love to see your writing. So upload it onto your Tapestry or Seesaw for me to see.
Yes, so
That
we're going to
great.
move forward.
Thank
So
you.
this was a small little fun game that you know, we could do for our children back home, where
So when we're
the
practicing
you know
our
the
writing,
hold of the pencil, the hold of the writing tool becomes easy. So in the phase 3, that when the children learn under Jolly Phonics, there are more difficult words, or if I may say so, more words which include digraphs, which include trigraphs. They are introduced to the children to help them build more, to help them read, to help their understanding for reading more words. So here, if we say what are digraphs, digraphs are 2 letters that come together but give one sound. So like when I was giving out the groups to you, I mentioned that the vowels give out, when certain other letters are added to it, the vowels will give out another sounds as well. It will not only retain to the pure sound. So when we add another letter over here in this digraph, AI, the original you know, sounds of letter A and letter I do not remain the same. They are put together, they blend together, and they will give out another you know, sound which is called A. So that will help the children understand and learn the correct pronunciation, or even the you know, the spellings of words like pain, shell, chick, this, rain. They're able to you know, bring it together. The through the blending of these digraphs, they're able to read more complex words as well. And same is the case with trigraphs as well, right? I was able to, ma'am, will you also be sharing these slides and videos with us? So ma'am, these resources are you know, there for our workshops as well only, and we are going to be sharing these resources to you in a handout in the participation. If you want, I'm going to be putting the links as well for the videos for your understanding. That's not a problem. I'll put the links of these videos. They are available, right? I will be doing that. Okay, so moving on.
Miss Monica, just to let you know, Miss Shilpi is here in the meeting.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anila ma'am. So phase 4 is the one where here I would request Shilpi ma'am, because she is the resource. She is our resource from Amion School who takes you know, classes for class KG. She will be able to make you understand how we can, you know, build this phase for the children. We can build this segment for the children easier, and how it happens in our classroom. So Shilpi ma'am, we welcome you to this platform, and we would want your expertise over here. If you can share and tell, you know, how the children in KG take up learning reading and writing through these sounds.
Thank you so much, Monica ma'am, and good morning to our respected chairperson ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for having me in this session. And thank you, dear parents, for giving a patient hearing to Monica ma'am. And she was trying to explain this wonderful approach of Jolly Phonics. She has explained everything all about. I'm just here to take you to this blends and the long vowel sounds, and also the digraph, which slowly and gradually have been introduced in KG, because Jolly Phonics is a beautiful approach. It has got a systematic you know, thing, and we have been doing it in Amion for last so many years, and it is so kind of you know, positive results we have seen. So I would show you how we do the long vowel sounds. So the way each letter sound has got a song, a particular action. So these long vowel sounds, like Monica ma'am was showing, AI, OO, so EE, they also have a particular song, and they also have particular sound, actions. So with that, together children can pick up the sounds of these digraphs, long vowel sounds very easily. So I'll show you one. Okay. So dear parent, when we say letter O, the sound is O, O. So two letter O, when they comes together, they make a different sound, okay? So that becomes U. And there is a particular song for this sound, U. Did you ever hear? Okay, so this, is it visible, Monica ma'am? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, all right. So this is the double O, and this, the song for this double O is Who Wants to Be a Cuckoo? Who wants to be a cuckoo? Who wants to be a cuckoo? Ooh, 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 ooh. So this is how we have in the letter cards, which we provide to each one of them. So they have these kind of letter cards. So when we are singing this ooh, ooh song, so we do differentiate. The ooh is the short sound when we do this kind of action moving forward, and then ooh is the long sound when we have this other letter card, which is like backward we are taking it. So although it is a very tricky one, they both of them have got the same sound, but that's how we are trying to give them the differentiate. We are differentiating the sounds. So I'll make some words quickly and show you how we make. So when we say oh, short sound, then we are making a word like okay. So this is the first sound. So we ask them, children, what is the sound of this letter? So B. So this is the action of B. Okay. Next, we are coming to the sound, which is O, short sound. O. So that's how we do. O, short sound. This is a thinner O we have. And the last sound coming is, so we ask the children, what is the last sound ma'am is showing? So this is, so we join the sounds and encourage the children to blend the sound and read the word. So ba, u. So we say each letter sound again with the action ba, u. So that's how we blend the sound and do these long vowel sounds and the short vowel sounds also. This is a short oo and this is a long oo. So I'll make one long oo also. Monica ma'am, should I make one long oo sound word also with them?
Yes, ma'am. I guess they'll be able to understand it if we can.
Okay. All right. So again, what is the first sound? So these are typical phrases we use. What is the first sound ma'am is showing? So this is the action of sound. Okay, next I am having one more sound coming next. Can you please tell me what is the next sound coming? Ooh, so you have to move your neck backward, and this is the long sound. Ooh, ooh. Okay, and the last sound coming for you is and this is the action of So we encourage them again to blend the sounds. Ooh, ooh, moon. So that's how we make the sound. We blend the sound and build the bigger words slowly and gradually with the KG children. I have one more interesting thing to show you. So when we say the sound of letter T, that's t, t. And what is the sound of letter H is okay. But when they become friends and they come together, they make a different sound, and that is called the. So there is again a song for this the sound. Did you ever hear a rude clown make this sound and that sound? Did you ever hear a rude clown make this sound and that sound? The. So the is a loud voice sound that we say the, normal the, and when we say so we differentiate. Okay, we are showing our tongue. See, ma'am is showing tongue and saying, and it is kind of an unvoiced sound. So you cannot take out sound for. Okay, and I'll show you one more word also with the. So if I have to make this that, so that will be, so again we have for the, we have these letter cards in each child's letter card box. So this digraph with the sound is got a thinner one and the is a fatter one. So that's how we differentiate. The is a thinner one, the is a thicker one. So the, so what is this sound? The. What is the next sound? And on my arms. So this is the next sound. And what is the last sound coming? Is. So now let's join the sound. The, at, the, at, the, at, that. But believe me, when they come slowly and gradually at 4+, they're able to join the sounds. And we teachers are not saying this is that word. They're only joining the sound again and again. They're doing it. First, we initiate with slowly, like the at, the at, the at, that. So that's how slowly and gradually they are able to blend. And they're able to read the words phonetically and joining the sounds. And so Monica ma'am, we have done with this blend, this long vowel sound, the digraph, the, and now can we do a small game sort of thing?
Yes, ma'am. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. As well.
All right. So now after doing a lot of this blending with the help of teacher, now we do kind of a game. Suppose I am showing you some sounds. You have, and I'm giving a clue of doing the actions of that particular sound. I'm not showing the letter cards. I'm just doing the sounds. So they are now in 4+ in KG. They're thorough with all the letter sounds. So if I do the actions, so this is lick your lollipop. So what is the first sound? Ma'am is doing the action of. So that's the sound. Now next sound ke liye ma'am is doing the action like this. So who will tell me what is the next sound ma'am is going to show you? So this is the action of a. So children start giving the answer. So this is a. So I'm going to put the next sound a. And the next sound coming is the action like So which letter should I put next? So I'm going to put sound. So see, this is a kind of hint we are giving with the action, sounds, and then the letter is coming. And the last sound, you know, I'm going to do the last sound action. Da, 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 da. So this is action of letter D. So they start doing this action and they identify the last sound is this. So this is how we do our dumb charade game for the sounds, and children really enjoy in coming in KG because they're thorough with the sounds and actions, and they are able to blend the sounds and read the words. They start reading small storybooks also, with short sentences. So it's amazing to see following these Jolly Phonics steps from pre-nursery, nursery, and when they come to KG, they become very confident reader. So, ma'am, Do you have time?
Thank you so much, Shilpi ma'am. That was a great help where the parents were able to identify and see through these various little, prompts how the children, can become fluent, efficient readers. Now, I have a video for you to see where you will be, the speaker will be able to tell you how reading.
Hi everyone, it's Leanne with
definitely helps
Expressible.
children when we begin early. Yes, Anila ma'am.
Hi everyone, it's Leanne with Expressible. Today I'm discussing how to use books to develop early language skills and literacy. Research has shown that when compared to kids whose families read them 5 books a day, kids who are not read to can experience a gap in vocabulary exposure of up to 1.4 million words. And that's a lot of potential. But some families might not be sure of how to keep reading engaging and helpful for their children. So I'm here to help. First things first, books are amazing resources. They open gateways to literacy and imagination, but don't let books boss you around. When reading with your child, especially if they're young, you don't have to read every word on the page. If your child's still a toddler, complicated language in a book might go over their head. So instead, you could spend some time looking at the pictures, commenting on what you see, and checking in to see if they can point out what you're talking about. Bath time. I see a pig. Go up the stairs. Incorporating pointing and hand gestures and fun voices can keep books engaging. We want kids to learn to enjoy reading, and it shouldn't feel like a chore. Take some opportunities to see if your child is able to point to pictures in the book that you name. Where's the cow? If they need some help, you can do modeling. Cow! Your child may start to imitate the words that you model, so you could take an opportunity to do a language expansion. Cow says moo. A lot of children's books have fantastic rhyme schemes, and that's great for developing pre-literacy skills. As your child gets older, you can start to stick to the book's written text more and more. To take a bath in one big tub with soap all over, scrub, scrub, scrub. Keep in mind that you might not be able to fit 5 books in one day. Families are busy. Might be hard to find time to even get one done. But don't worry, just do your best to make a routine of book reading. Do you read 1 after you wake up each morning? Or maybe 2 after dinner's all clean? Or maybe you try to read as many as you can before they fall asleep at night. There's tons of great resources out there to get your hands on lots of books without spending a fortune too. Public libraries, book swaps, Facebook Marketplace, neighborhood libraries, and even free online books. Don't forget too that kids crave repetition, so you might go through some real favorite book phases with them. I hope you found this video helpful.
I was muted. Thank you so much for watching the video, and there were some useful strategies and tips that were shared with you as parents, which you can, inculcate the habit of reading. Be a reader yourself first and get an environment conducive for reading books for your child. Don't be too critical of your child that they do not know the right, the word, they do not know the spelling, they do not know the pronunciation of it. Inculcate in a fun manner to the children, practice the sounds at home, and mostly encourage the child. Remember to keep your connect with your class teacher of the child. They will be able to tell you what is the correct pronunciation for that particular sound, what is the action, the correct action, so that the learning becomes a together approach along with the teacher, along with the school, and you as parents, and the child blossoms with these loving opportunities for them to become amazing readers, readers, amazing writers. They can achieve these milestones early with the love and support that we as teachers can offer, right? So these are some little prompts. Moving on, Anila ma'am, these are some little prompts that we would want to recommend to you to keep in mind that you should be doing for your children back home. Let's not introduce similar sounding, letters as well. Avoid the letter A and the E coming together, because there is a very small little difference in the sound that it makes, the sound that each letter makes. So have those spaced out for the children. Even in our school also, we have spacing that is given to the children when they're able to, kind of identify those sounds. Make sure that familiar sounds do not come in together. It just makes, understanding a bit confusing. And take one sound at a time for the child. Encourage your child to learn and build new words, silly words. Like we had stand or drive, we could, make silly words and for them to build their abilities to blend the sounds together. Be there for your child along with the school and help them see that how they achieve these milestones so beautifully. And you as parents will be facilitating with your encouragement, with your support, with your cooperation, with your coordination with the teachers, and most importantly, showing unconditional love and support for your young one. All right, so we'll quickly go to the question answer sessions, Anila ma'am. And in the meanwhile, Anila ma'am will also be posting, the link for a feedback, which we will be asking for the workshop. And we are open to any one of you who has a question. You can come up on the camera, ask your question, and I and Shilpi ma'am over here, I will be able to take questions from pre-nursery and nursery level parents, and those who have children in the older, age bracket. I'll request Shilpi ma'am to take the questions for, this particular technique that we had the opportunity to share with each one of you. So anyone who has a question, you can raise your hands and we're going to ask you. We'll take the help of Anila ma'am and sir to, bring you up on camera. You can raise your, you can bring in your concerns. You can ask your question. Those of you who want to write in the chat box can also write in the chat box your, your question. Any responses?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon. Actually, I have also mentioned the question in the chat box. So this is regarding the holding pencil. My child is in KG. Yes. And he's holding pencil in a way that the back is not facing his back. It's facing towards the side or maybe a little bit front. So how can I help correct him that? And he always complains that his hands are paining. His hands are paining.
Yes.
So I understand the Play-Doh part we did try with him, but still the pencil holding, I'm a little, worried about him, about that.
So ma'am, like I shared in the video, that there is, you can in a fun manner, you can ask the child first through games, you can ask the child to, kind of first try and hold the pencil in the way it is on the writing tool, where it is first pinch, pinch, pin, and then they pick it up like this. All right, and they can flip it, right? They can flip it, and then they will be just, don't ask them to hold it and start writing. Through a fun and playful manner, you can ask the child to, kind of, so when you're saying that the tip is over there, we also have to focus that this part of the hand is also pinned onto the table as well when the child is picking up and flicking. If the hand is not pinned to the table, the child will experience pain in the hand when they are writing it. Am I correct, Shilpi ma'am? Would you like to add?
Yes, make sure the wrist is resting on the table or on the notebook. If it is like not resting, and if it is in this kind of position, then children find it difficult. They say pain, their handwriting speed becomes slower. So make sure the wrist is on the notebook or on the table. That's a very good thing. And do a lot of beading and transferring activities so that your child's this pincer grip and this tripod finger muscles are strengthened. So do a lot of spoon holding, transferring activity, a lot of beading, a lot of threading activities. These are really helpful to strengthen the fine motor skills. You know, the small little muscles of the children, they need to be strengthened, right? So that really helps strengthen these muscles. Do these activities, let them be doing independently. Their buttoning, threading, this kind of activities are really good.
Okay, thank you.
You can even ask them to, pluck out, help them in, ask their help for house chores also, plucking out, methi leaves, plucking out coriander leaves, even taking out peas from the pea pod. These help, the children, these 3 dominant fingers of the dominant hand.
Okay,
so we have a sensory, even we have in Amion, all the Amions, we have a sensory studio where we have a lot of this kind of practical life exercises in the sensory play studio, which are aimed to, strengthen these fine motor skills and all these practical life sorting skills, practical life, problem solving skills also improved, and simultaneously the fine motor skills. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you so much. We were able to address your, question.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Any more question? Any more? You can unmute yourself. Come and ask the question for us. We'll be able to guide. We will be. Anila ma'am, have you shared the feedback link in the chat box? Yes, Navjeet. Yes, Miss Kaur.
Hi, ma'am. Actually, my child is in KG class, and he has started learning Jolly Phonics from this class only. Earlier, it was in Kidsy, so there was not concept of this. So I think he's facing difficulty because the other students are far. They are learning in a better way.
They are ahead, they know more. Now, definitely under these circumstances, maybe your child will face a, gap in the learning. However, when, like we have said, this we are not going to limit it only to a nursery or a pre-nursery stage, but this approach, even when it is given to a KG student, they'll be able to understand it much faster. Begin with the pure sounds, begin with the letters that are there in the English alphabet. Ask them to understand what is the sound that the letter A makes. I help the child, listen to the Jolly Phonics rhymes to have them their understanding of not only the sound, the action, the formation, the verbal clues. And you as parent, when you facilitate that gap, you will be able to see that in a very short time, they will be able to catch up on the technique which is being done in the classroom also. Shilpi ma'am, would you like to add your suggestion to Ms. Kaur over here as well?
Amion is the best preschool in Delhi and NCR, Ms. Kaur, okay? So I'm sure you are able to understand the difference in Amion's learning approach, right? So that's what, ma'am, it will not take much of a time since your child is 4+. Just give your child a lot of, hearing to the YouTube link we have for Jolly Phonics. We can share it with you, ma'am. Let your child listen, while playing, while eating. Those songs are very important. If they pick up those songs, within a span of say about 1 or 2 months, the child will be thorough with the sounds. And please do take small segments. Like you can start with Satipin. You can ask your teacher, take this first phase of sounds. Maybe for a week, maybe for 2 weeks, you go on doing SATIPN. Next 2 weeks, take up some 4 to 5 sounds again. So do it in this way. In 2 months' time, they really pick up. That's why I started say we are doing this workshop for all of you to understand, because this is the best child-friendly approach for phonic learning.
And also, Ms. Kaur, I would like to add that at Amion, when you do connect with the class teacher, just remember that there is so many reinforcement games, activities that also happen in the classroom that the children, without going to the proper formal process, they're able to identify, they're able to, build on that technique faster than what we expected. So it does not necessarily have to be in that sequence. Once they know about this technique, once they identify with that technique, they're able to cope up, and the gap, like you're saying, that if he has not experienced it in pre-nursery and nursery, will be able to, in any way, will be able to understand this particular technique as well.
So since Monica ma'am is talking about a lot of games, so I just wanted to show you a little, recap game we do with the children. So this is a simple dice. So at times we do some kind of animal recap thing. So now I wanted to show you like this kind of long vowel sound which comes in KG, we will say. So this is a dice. We just throw the dice and whatever sound is coming on top. So let's do the action of the sound, and let's do this sound. Let's say the sound and do the action, and let's sing the song. So this kind of activity we do to recap whatever they are learning. That's all.
We were able to address your concern.
Yes, ma'am. I was little worried,
Right,
so that I should not teach him in my way, because the way I have learned, it's quite different. So I was little afraid that if I will teach in that way, because I might do some mistake. So he must be face difficulty in relearning that same thing. So how do I teach myself properly? It's little tricky for me also.
Right. So we, after this workshop, like we said, we're also going to be sharing, the resources as well for the workshop. And in case you want to connect with us again, we are at the respective center for Gurgaon. You can get in touch with Shilpi ma'am or the class teachers. They will be also able to guide you and help you. And I'm sure this workshop would also have set some base understanding for you as parent also to take it up further if you want to. Right. So I believe if there are any more questions, maybe we'll get back to you. We have crossed our time for this online workshop, and we would want to say a big thank you from both of us, from Shilpi ma'am, from me. We want to, from the entire team at ACRT, we want to thank you for the participation, the wholehearted participation for this workshop. And please send in your feedback on the link that has been shared with you. Please click on it. And thank you so much for this participation. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And together we are going to make a difference and make our children's learning journey for acquiring the English language much easier. Thank you so much, dear parents.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.